Hey everybody, my name is Mike Edelman. I'm the Director of Education at IdeaStream Public Media. I have the great privilege of overseeing the production of NewsDepth, our interactive children's news program targeting students grades 4 through 6. During the school year, we produce 30 half-hour episodes, and in the summer, we turn our attention to producing standards-aligned special segments and catching up on other related projects. When we are in season, the NewsDepth team consists of myself, a multimedia producer, a coordinating producer, and of course, Rick Jackson, our host. We are a lean team, but we are extremely proud of the work we have accomplished over the last several seasons. Today, I want to share some of the enhancements we've made to the show with all of you. I'm going to ask you to bear with an imperfect metaphor of a Sunday for a little bit. Let's start with the basics. NewsDepth is primarily built on these three elements: current events, the banana. These are the foundation of the show. We break down big news stories into age-appropriate, standards-aligned lessons. Then we add in a few scoops of ice cream, our special segments: Spot on Science, Know Ohio, Sketchbook, etc. These are intentionally produced with input from teachers across the state to align with the state learning standards and provide rich, quality content. And of course, the cherry on top is our student engagement. Students write into the show and vote in a weekly poll. We share their letters and poll results the following week. Teachers are able to use this as a way to promote strong writing and digital literacy skills. Over the last several seasons, we have put more focus on the show's foundation, the bowl that holds it all together, by creating an underpinning of teacher input and resources to bolster the program into a more robust educational product. The goal is for there to be no use for a teacher not to use NewsDepth in the classroom. Now let's take a look at how the show has been performing over the last several seasons and some of the improvements that we have made along the way. Here's a map of our go-to users, teachers. This map shows 320 schools that have self-reported using NewsDepth. Almost 60 of them were new to NewsDepth this past season. Across those 320 school buildings, we have nearly 450 teachers and an estimated 19,000 students. It's important here to point out that this is all self-reported data. So we'd like to think that there are many more schools using NewsDepth. And each school can have multiple teachers using the show multiple times a day, which is demonstrated by the photos sent in by teachers from across the state. Now, the fun thing is if you zoom out, you'll also see schools in Georgia, Kansas, Oregon, and even Vancouver, Canada, using NewsDepth. And those yellow markers, those are the PBS stations across Ohio that air NewsDepth. We've really moved away from broadcast as a primary distribution vehicle. So this is how you consume NewsDepth. These are the spoons, if you will. First, we have our traditional broadcast on multiple PBS stations and the Ohio channel. Our hope here is that we're able to serve communities that might not have internet access. The full show is, of course, available on ideastream.org and through the PBS video app, so you can find it easily on your smart TV or streaming platform. Newer additions include PBS Learning Media, which is a national platform of heavily vetted educational content. They like to think of themselves as the nation's largest classroom. And as an aside, I would encourage all of you to check out PBS Learning Media when you have a free moment. We also have a very strong presence on YouTube, which is a very kid-friendly place for us to reach viewers outside of the classroom setting. But back to the Sunday. Let's start with the healthy part, the meat of the show, the banana, our current events. Not too much has changed with our presentation of current events. Overall, we are looking for international and national stories that provide great lessons and cover a wide range of topics, including economics, geography, national and international news, and civics lessons. We add in visuals and use Rick's stand-ups as opportunities to reach students and to really couch the news items with the Ohio Learning Standards. We also provide teachers with a rundown of the show that explicitly lists out what state learning standards each story applies to. We've also been proactively seeking out input from our teachers when it comes to sensitive topics, such as the January 6th Capitol riots last year. On top, our sweet but still educational special segments, our scoops of ice cream. You might think of them as a major part of NewsDepth, but they haven't always been that way. They're actually all quite new within the last 5 years. The exception here is No Ohio, but even that has been refreshed over the last several seasons. We get a ton of use out of these special segments. They are as interstitials on WVIZ and the Ohio channel, and they are posted online at PBS Learning Media, YouTube, and PBS Video. Special segments have also given us the opportunity to build relationships with other like-minded organizations across Northeast Ohio, such as Case Western Reserve University, the Cleveland Museum of Natural History, the NASA Glenn Research Center, University Hospitals, and I could go on and on. Now, to the cherry on top of our sundae. We've used a human-centered design process over the last couple of seasons to enhance the student engagement that we offer. Teachers are now able to receive a copy of all the emails and correspondence that students send to us through our inbox form. The new form also allows students to upload photos and videos to support their answers. They've also sent in a wide range of unsolicited selfies through the inbox form, as you can see on the slide. We've also taken this as an opportunity to integrate the inbox and poll with Google to create an intuitive and recognizable interface for engagement. And those changes online have really started to pay off for us. The new inbox and poll went into effect during season 50. And you can see in season 51, we received 17,000 student letters. And each one of those letters is actually read by the coordinating producer. There were even a few weeks when we topped 1,000 emails. With the poll, we received about 73,000 votes across the entirety of the season. And with both of these, we have taken a more educational approach to formulating the questions. Once again, using that underpinning of teacher work to guide our production of the show. NewsDepth is a digital-first product. That's a fancy way to say that there are additional elements available for classroom use through digital platforms. Put another way, you're missing out on something if you're only watching the 30-minute show. The big thing you'd be missing is the new weekly teacher resources. You can see them listed out beneath each episode. Among them are episode guides. Episode guides, and that's what when I showed you a chunk of before when we were talking about the standard alignment. These guides also include discussion questions that require higher cognitive demand of your students. We've also started to create a quiz to go along with each show. Teachers can either print these off as PDFs or add them as a Google quiz directly in their Google Classroom. We've also worked up a little coding so that teachers can assign full episodes of the show for students to watch a Google Classroom. With the click of a button, you're able to easily push the video out to all of your students. These resources do make a little bit of extra work for us, but the input that we've gotten from all of you tells us that you value them, and our analytics tell us that you use them. In season 50, we really began pushing for more teacher engagement and input on the show. We were hoping to learn about how the show is used in the classroom and what your specific needs were as educators. We took this as an opportunity to start the NewsDepth Teacher Advisory Council. It's a small group of educators from around Ohio who meet directly with the NewsDepth team quarterly to share their expertise and input. We've also upped the frequency of our educator newsletter from monthly to weekly. This newsletter gives teachers a heads up about what will be in the next show and provides plenty of resources, which I will get into in just a moment. Another way we are engaging with teachers and relying on their input is our regular end of season survey. We always ask what they value about the show and what we can improve. And here are a few of the quotes that we've pulled to share with you. Teachers mentioned assigning the show to be watched at home, their appreciation of having child-appropriate news, and a lot of other kinds of works. But I can tell you until I'm blue in the face what the teachers have to say about the show. What really matters is what the students think. And here's a quick video of a classroom visit from season 50. As you can see, the students were very excited to see Rick Jackson and the rest of the NewsDepth team as they visited their school. So how can you use NewsDepth in the classroom? Well, you can use it in your social studies courses. You can use it in your science courses. If you'd like, the NewsDepth team is also willing and able to visit your school either in person or digitally to talk to you and your colleagues about how NewsDepth can be used and what your specific needs are from NewsDepth. And we would also invite all of you, if you're interested, to lend a hand and participate in the advisory council. You can find NewsDepth at the web address on your screen. And if you have any questions, certainly feel free to reach out. I thank you for your time, and I wish you continued success this school year. Thank you.